Hi, y'all. I'm Neffin Meissner. Did you know that the City of Cambridge has an LGBTQ plus commission? Well, we do, and we on the commission are here for you. What do we do as a commission? Well, anything we can think of to make Cambridge a better, safer place for queer folks. We work with elders and youth. We make sure that city services and other services in Cambridge are supportive of our LGBTQ plus residents. We work with the police and fire departments to educate them and keep them on their toes. And of course, we work with the mayor, the city council, the city manager, and other commissions on policy issues and events. So whether you or a friend or a family member is LGBTQ+, an ally, or unsure about where you fit in the broader spectrum of things, the LGBTQ Commission is here for you. We advocate for a culture of respect. We monitor progress towards equality for all persons with regards to sexual orientation and gender identity and expression. We hope y'all have a safe, healthy, and fun time.
Hi, thank you all for joining us for this belated New Year's queer celebration. I'm Noe Kamela. We will have three great local folks speaking out on what New Year's and the subject of renewal means to them and the LGBTQ plus community. We hope you enjoy.
Hey, my name is Lam, and I am a preacher and community builder based in Boston. I am sincerely grateful to the Cambridge LGBTQ Plus Commission for inviting me to share a few words and some thoughts on the topic of renewal. So let's get to it. This is an excerpt from chapter 12 of Paul's letter to the Romans, and it reads as thus. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God, for this is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. This is a popular text and commonly used whenever there is anything to be said about the topic of renewal. Personally, I try to avoid texts like this as much as possible, mostly because they tend to be used in a way that's trite or cliche. But what I found to be true about these tired texts is that they rarely get a close examination. People just take them at face value, and this one is no exception. But that's where we come in, because there's so much more to this passage, so much more that maybe we can bring some renewal to it, and hopefully, in so doing, some renewal to ourselves. So let's read it again. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God, for this is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. Don't conform to the pattern of this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Cool. Okay. It's easy to gravitate to those parts because it's literally right there. And that's usually where the analysis ends. But hold up. What about that first part? Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. You can't just gloss over it. It's the very first verse. So what does it mean to be a living sacrifice? Well, we have an idea of what the inverse is. Something is given up so that something else might prosper. So if that's a dying sacrifice, then what's a living sacrifice? Well, for me, it's less concerned with giving up something and more concerned with being about something. For it is through our being, it is through our living that we have the chance to bring forth life. I'm reminded of a quote from an illustrious graduate from Morehouse College, the Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. And it says this: don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who are alive. It is through our coming alive and our living in full color that others might be persuaded to live as well, shamelessly, confidently, boldly, not formed to the pattern of this world, but uniquely, originally, with a renewed mind, with a renewed consciousness of who you are, whose you are, and that the world is more complete because you are here, being about something and living about it. Oh, that was good. But being about something and living about something comes with its own set of challenges. That's what makes it a sacrifice. There will be obstacles, pettiness, drama, roadblocks, trials, tribulations, challenges, drawbacks, hurdles, complications, snags, blockades, deterrents, glitches in the system, technical difficulties, the list. It goes on and on. It's a lot. But I like to think that even the smallest amount of conviction to bring forth life is stronger than anything or anyone for that matter that might seek to snuff it out. We are told in Matthew chapter 17, verse 20, that with faith, even as small as a mustard seed, we can move mountains. And we know from the song that this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So shine, despite the haters, shine, despite the naysayers, shine, despite the doubters, despite the bullies, despite the status quo, because your commitment, your conviction to bring forth life is stronger. And that is what makes us a living, breathing, thriving sacrifice. Therefore, go forth and be a living sacrifice. Someone who has found what makes them come alive and does so unapologetically, come what may, because it is through our living that others might also live. With a renewed perspective on this text, let us renew our license to be a living sacrifice by doing the following activity. What I want you to do is write down that which makes you come alive, those things that make you breathe a little deeper, those things that put your mind at ease, those things that ignite your imagination. Write those things down. Then after you've done that, you've written them all down, go do them. But don't just do them. Do them knowing that the world is more complete because you are here being about something and living about something. And that is your true and proper worship. That is you being a living, breathing, and thriving sacrifice. And the world is better off for it. Amen.
Hello, and welcome to my temple. My name is Shelley Holloway, and I am the High Priestess of the Cornucopia Collective. We are a grassroots pagan community organization here in the Boston area, and we focus on creating sacred and inclusive events, classes, rituals for those who identify under the pagan umbrella. We welcome all who worship the old gods, practice magical traditions such as Wicca, witchcraft, indigenous and diasporic folk tradition and civil religion, all those who hold reverence for the sacredness and diversity of the earth, and all those who are just curious to learn more about the magical arts and sciences. We welcome all here to our sacred spaces. It is an honor to be asked by the Cambridge LGBTQ insert alphabet here, commissioned to talk to you today about the ancient roots of New Year's resolutions and what liminal time of year means to pagan traditions, and lead you in welcoming this new year in a magical way. And like many of you, I am so happy to see 2020 come to a close. 2021 promises to be a year of major shifts. Changes in consciousness can occur this year, but there are multiple learning curves, as there are with anything, that asks us to change and empower ourselves. And there will be growing pains along that way. That's what 2021 is promising us. And this idea of meeting the new head on is very kin to how pagans view the new year and the sacredness of the liminal, that in between time and space where we are in the process of leaving behind the old and making way for the new. Hence the custom of the New Year's resolution, which just happens to have ancient pagan roots. In Rome, the month of January itself was named for a Roman god, Janus, who this was his sacred time of year. He is often imagined with a double face, one facing out towards the old and worn out, and the other face looking forward to the future. And it was the Roman tradition to ask Janus, as the guardian of the old and new years, to bless our hopes for positive change in our lives, aka our New Year's resolutions. Gods and goddesses of the threshold, transformation, change, crossroads, endings, and new beginnings are common throughout the pagan world, whether we are meeting Hecate at her crossroads or Ashu at his gate. There are customary gods to evoke this time of year, should we choose to. And these deities don't just stand guard in these liminal spaces. They actually help us become aware of and let go of the baggage of the old and worn out. They help us with insight. They help us with reconciliation of the old and the new. At the heart of this time of year for us is liberation, freeing ourselves from all that has harmed us, held us back from healing, growth, becoming our best selves, putting our best face forward, as it were, if we're Janus himself. One of the traditional tools for doing this, and a tool of the liminal, is the broom. It's a very practical tool. This is my blessed and charged ritual broom, but it has the same function. It sweeps, it cleans out, it cleanses. When it is laid across the floor, it becomes a visible marker of the in-between, a literal threshold, the crossroads, the gate and the gatekeeper. On one side, the old and worn out, and on the other, newness, full of potential. If you're playing along at home, go find your broom. Most kitchens have one, I promise. If not a broom, grab your Swiffer, grab your duster, whatever object you use for actually physically cleaning your home. So whatever it is you use. Tick tock, tick tock. Now that we have our brooms, you were very fast at doing that, I know. Let's have some fun. As part of our New Year celebration, I welcome you to join with me in a cornucopia tradition. This is a magical working that we do as a part of our Holy Day of Impulse. This is a day set aside in the beginning of February to cleanse, renew, set intentions for the new year, release the old, and welcome the new. Whatever your cleansing object of choice, hold that broom in your hands. We are going to use the power of our imagination to turn our broom from an everyday item to a magical one. Don't worry if you struggle keeping your mind focused during this. That's okay. Just return to your breathing, focus, and come back to the vision when you are able, right? This is not a competition. Magic is not about being the Uber Harry Potter. It is about your personal journey. And how powerful are we when we can use these cleaning objects, such as this broom, to affect change in our immediate physical environment. That feeling you get after you clean your room, after you clean your house, where everything feels refreshed, our space renewed, having once been dirty and stagnant. Now it looks and feels clean and fresh. Hold that feeling of cleanliness, freshness, renewal in your mind as you're holding your broom. Know that you created that feeling. You did. That was all you. All you. And that you can do this cleansing in a more profound way in your life. I promise. See, your whole body charged with this profound mission. Close your eyes and see white light emanating from the core of your being, just above your belly and at the base of your rib cage. See it like a pinhole at first, and then growing larger and larger, the warmth of this emanating light, expanding further and further. Just see it, hold it. See it growing up and down your spine, growing stronger and brighter as it spreads through your body, down through your legs, and up through your torso, into your neck, into your shoulders, radiating upward through your head and down into your arms, into your hands, where this energy is pooling, right? That energy building and building and building, stronger and stronger. See it glowing brighter and brighter, spreading throughout your body. Feel your whole body illuminated, vibrating with this energy. Feel it surging into your hands as we send this energy into our body. The energy that is flowing through us into our brooms. Push this energy out through our fingers and palms, throughout our brooms. Seeing this object in your hands, empowered and charged as we transfer this energy from the core of our being into our brooms. This is what we call charging our tools. When you feel like the energy has been successfully transferred to your broom, open your eyes. Know that you have everything you need to cause change in your life right here in your hands. Let's stand up and get ready to do some sweeping. I'll stand up. You might lose my head a little here. Now, let's see the dirt in our life, littering our floor, all over our floors. These are the messages we've internalized throughout our life. Over here, that teacher telling you you're not working hard enough. Next to it, the reinforcing words of capitalism telling there's never enough. And next to that, the belief of personal failing if we aren't able to just pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Look, over there. Look, our mother's face. When you did something you knew was right for you, but wrong in her eyes. That damn dust bunny over there, socialized gender norms. Over there, obligatory heteronormativity. Ick, yuck, be gone with you. Whoopsies. Don't forget that X over there. Ugh, be gone. Self-doubt, guilt, shame, self-loathing, littering every corner of your space, of your life. See these past hurts and harms. See those faces. Feel those feelings the memories bring up for you. And know that you hold in your hands, charged by your will, purpose, and intention, a powerful tool, and its objective is to help you sweep out the old hurts and harms and make way for a fresh, new way of being. Let us sweep with purpose. Sweep these things away from yourself. If you can sweep outside of your home, great. If not, that's fine too, because as we sweep, see the past hurts and harms dissipate into the air, disintegrating with every powerful sweep away from ourselves. Let's sweep. Know that these were only ever dust bunnies, lingering ones for sure, but specks of dust nonetheless. They only have the power we give them, and now we are taking our power back. Keep sweeping as we further charge this intention with a simple chant. Feel free to join in, or if that's difficult to chant while focusing on sweeping, that's fine too. Either way, just keep sweeping, knowing you are banishing from your life all that is inhibiting and holding you back. Our chant is, we bring forth the new and banish the old. Bring forth the new, banish the old. Bring forth the new, banish the old. Bring forth the new, banish the old. Continue with this chant if you wish. Hold the cleansing power of this moment in our minds, visualizing this new reality in the here and the now, complete and manifest in the world around us and within us. Let it become as real to you as possible, and know that by your own power and will, you have made it come to pass. As we seal this energy with the words, bring forth the new, banish the old. Bring forth the new, banish the old. Bring forth the new, banish the old. So mote it be, and so it is. Congratulations. You have stepped through the liminal, and now you are cleansed and renewed and ready for the year ahead. Breathe and let that energy we just built settle. Send any excess energy back into the earth in the same way we used it to charge our brooms. Just let it sink back down into the earth. She is the sacred source of this energy. She knows how to take it and transform it. In the next few days and weeks, know that you have created a shift in your life, but do the work of acting in accordance, which means being actively engaged in the new life you've created by reinforcing these new thoughts. Be mindful of the moments when the old thoughts try to creep back in. Challenge them. They have no power here. If your goals have tangible results, like a new job, now is the time to spiff up that resume, take tangible steps towards fulfilling this goal. We witches don't just put the energy out there. We use that energy to light a fire under our butts. If you are interested at all in learning more about Cornucopia Collective, please feel free to check out our website, cornucopiacollective.com. You can also find us on bostonpagan.com, our meetup page, which is Pagans and Witches in Greater Boston. Drop us a line. Let us know your experience viewing and participating in this New Year's mini ritual. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy New Year and blessed be to all.
Hello there, and greetings. So, by the time we got to the end of 2020, most of us were completely done with that year. And unfortunately, 2021 is already pretty tough. Not only is there political and social unrest, but we're still in the midst of this ongoing pandemic, and it's not easy. So I'm wondering if, as we get into 2021, we need to be looking for strategies, not just to survive, but strategies on which we can thrive. Simple strategies. One of the best and simplest strategies that I know of is to have a theme for the year. That may seem a little silly, but my theme, my word for the year is practice. And when I say practice, I'm not talking about practice makes perfect. I actually don't think that practice makes perfect at all. I don't think perfection is a goal that we should be seeking. But when I say practice, I actually mean practice like yoga. Yoga is a practice. Or medicine. Medicine is a practice. These are things that have to be done over and over again, not with the goal of being perfect in them, but instead with the goal of staying resilient with them, staying informed about them, and having self-knowledge. Because we continue to change, we continue to evolve. So we need to practice these things, or stay in a practice of them. Now, for me as a spiritual leader, as a minister, spiritual practice is one of the most important things that I engage with. And my spiritual practice is something that you may want to consider. Now, it's not a specific thing that I want you to go out there and do, but my spiritual practice is about embodiment, specifically about my embodiment. And without getting into the details of my own personal practice, I take time every single morning and every single evening to check in with my body. I take time to scan and see where I'm experiencing pain, how I'm feeling anxiety, how I'm holding this time that we're living through, and where it lodges in my body. I don't try to manipulate those feelings. I don't try to change them. More than anything, I try to remain present with where and how my body is feeling. So, a spiritual practice of embodiment. One practice that I think we all need to engage in is the practice of love. Love is something that we need to return to time and time again, to remember sometimes how to do it. It's particularly challenging when we're faced with people who want to hurt us, who don't believe in us, who don't believe in how we live our lives or how we love. And at the same time, we have to return to love. Love is not something that apologizes or excuses bad behavior or harm by any means. Love is something that actually holds people accountable. And the practice of love is living into and leaning into that accountability. The challenge is, how do we all lean into an accountability and a practice of love? And so I want to leave you with that question. What will your practice be for 2021? How will you practice? And more importantly, how will you practice love? Go in peace.
A sincere thanks to all presenters, the LGBTQ+ Commission, and CCTV for making this possible. We hope you enjoyed our show and stay tuned for more. For the Cambridge LGBTQ+ Commission, I'm Noe Kamelamela. Bye!